loves, Daddy cares. He protects, He provides. Stay the course through every storm. He's the hero of my life. Show me love, show me care. Please protect, please provide. Stay the course, stay at home. I need a hero in my life. Be the hero of my life.
Hey, I'm Garth. I'm 41 years old. I do not have a relationship with my father. I know of him, but I don't have a relationship with him. I've met him in my late 20s, and I've never been able to have a conversation with him for whatever reason. He's unable or unwilling to try to have a conversation. I remember the first time I ever asked my mother about my father I was about 7 years old. And I remember distinctly I was getting ready for school and she was kneeling in front of me and fixing my uniform, khaki. And I asked her about it and she just broke down in tears. And from that day I decided that I would never ask her about him again. And really and truly that is how I think it came, it happened that we just I just never had any idea who this person was. But I realized that it must have been something, a difficult situation, something, very painful, why she was unable to have a conversation, about it. So I decided that day that I would never ask. I believe that every child is impacted in some way by their father, by his absence or his presence. There are children who've had meaningful relationships with fathers who have not been around physically, while there are fathers who've been around physically and have really been more negative than a positive impact. So every child's life is impacted by the absence or presence of their father. His absence certainly has influenced me, tremendously to be the best father that I can be, because I decided that I'm never going to be the kind of father that he was. And I had a very good reference point as to where I'm not going to be. And even later on in life, in my 20s when I met him, and just to see how detached he is and so on, I decided that I would never have a child out of marriage, that's for one, and two, that I would always be around for my kids. Regardless of what the situation is, I am going to be there. And I think that has had a very lasting impact on me. What are you eating?
The apple.
Fortunately for me, I came in contact with the Rosso and Holiness Christian Church at a very pivotal point in my life, in my development. And people like Sam Vassell and Winston Carter, Vincent Ellis, Deacon Frankson, and these guys, really showed me an example of something that I could look at and say, that's what a father looks like, that's what a man looks like. And through their example and reading scriptures and I think more importantly the power of the Holy Spirit, I've learned what it means, because certainly I would have been a disaster as a father if it were not for these men and the influence of the church. There is still time. There's always time once you're above ground. There is still time. I don't know what the situation was. I don't know what the circumstances were that my mother and my father were dealing with. But I would say right now that there is still time. Always seek to take responsibility for yourself, for your actions, for your circumstances, whatever it was. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that I had to learn, and I had to come to grips with, was there comes a point in your life when you just have to take control of your own situation, your own circumstances, and make some decisions as to what it is that that you're going to do with your life, and whether you're going to be defined by your past and defined by your circumstances, or you're going to take control and try to stop the trajectory that you're on, and sort of direct and write your own story. Situations are not always perfect, you make mistakes, but at the end of the day, if once you are prepared to take responsibility for yourself, you're in a better place. It really does take a man to raise a man, to build a man. You don't always get a chance to repair a broken person, but if you are deliberate about building from scratch, you're in a much better place. Caleb, what, come, let me ask you something. What is it that you would say I've always taught you?
Do the important things first.
Yeah? And you remember that all the time? And you'll do it? Yeah? Really?
Yes.
Sit here on the camera. So tell them what your daddy tell you all the time.
My daddy told me to do the important things first.
Wow. There. Yeah, that's it.
I need a hero in my life. Be the hero of my life.